My wife gave me two choices: watch her sleep with her ex, or stay out of her way while she did it. So I chose option 3 and told her to start packing before I rearranged his face. Hey, Reddit. I'm Riley, 33, male, and I run a custom motorcycle shop in Portland. We build bikes, do restorations, handle repairs, the whole deal. I manage the crew, work on the builds myself, and make sure 6 guys don't kill each other during busy season. This all started on a Tuesday that looked like any other. 2 of my guys called in sick, which meant I was pulling double duty on a custom Harley build that was already behind schedule. I spent the morning fabricating a gas tank, the afternoon fine-tuning the exhaust system, and the last 3 hours arguing with a part supplier. By the time I pulled into my driveway at 7:30, I was running on fumes, 12-hour shift, covered in grease, lower back screaming, the kind of tired where all you want to do is microwave something, shower, and zone out. But the second I walked inside, I knew something was off. The house was too quiet. Celeste's car was in the driveway, so she was home, but there was no sound. Just silence. I found her in the kitchen, standing by the counter with her arms crossed. She was dressed up, hair done, makeup on, like she was about to head out somewhere. "Hey," I said, dropping my keys on the counter. "Everything okay?" She didn't answer right away, just stared at me with this serious expression. I grabbed a bottle of water, cracked it open, took a long drink while keeping an eye on her. "We need to talk," she finally said. I set the bottle down. "All right. What's going on?" She took a breath and leaned against the counter, arms crossed. "You know, this life doesn't work for me anymore." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I'm getting bored. Our marriage is boring, and I want to explore other options." Her words hit me through the fog of exhaustion. For a second, I honestly thought I misheard her. "Excuse me. I'm giving you 2 choices, Riley." I just looked at her. My build specs were sitting on the counter next to me. My phone buzzed, one of the crew texting about tomorrow's schedule, but everything felt like background noise as I waited for her to drop whatever bomb she was gearing up to deliver. We'd been married 4 years, together 6. We'd always been solid. But the last 6 months she'd gotten distant, always on her phone, going to networking events and wellness workshops, coming home talking about consciousness expansion and limiting beliefs. I figured it was just some phase, a midlife crisis at 29 or whatever. "Nope, wrong. You can either accept that I want to explore something with Asher," she said, "or you can stay out of the way while I do it anyway." I stared at her, waiting for the punchline. When nothing came, I actually laughed. "Come again." She sighed like I was the one being unreasonable, like I was supposed to be cool with my wife sleeping with her ex-boyfriend. "I don't want this to be a fight," she said. "I'm being honest, trying to handle this with integrity. I'm not sneaking around. I'm giving you the opportunity to grow with me." And the wild part? She believed every word. She genuinely thought she was doing me a favor by being upfront about wanting to cheat. "So let me make sure I understand," I said. "You want me to be okay with you sleeping with Asher, your ex?" She nodded. "And if I'm not okay with it, you're going to do it anyway?" Another nod. "How long have you been planning this?" "A few weeks, maybe a month. But it's not like I just woke up and decided. It's been a journey of self-discovery. Cut the seminar talk. How long have you been talking to Asher?" She bit her lip. 4 months. So she'd been emotionally cheating on me for 4 months, and now she wanted permission to make it physical. "It's not cheating if I'm being honest with you," she said. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. She kept gesturing with her hands as she went on about how people our age are rethinking what relationships mean. "Monogamy isn't natural," she said. "I've been reading, listening to experts, talking to people who've moved past outdated relationship models. What I'm feeling isn't wrong. It's not betrayal." I didn't respond, because if I opened my mouth right then, I knew it wouldn't be calm. I needed to stay level and see how deep this whole thing went. "This isn't just physical attraction," she went on. "Asher and I connect on a level that's intellectual, spiritual, even. He understands parts of me that you, and I'm not criticizing you, but I've grown, and I refuse to shrink myself back down." Asher, by the way, is 34. Her ex from college. They dated for 2 years before she and I ever met. Some wannabe guru who runs a lifestyle coaching business out of a renovated warehouse. I met him exactly once at a networking thing Celeste dragged me to 8 months ago. The place was filled with Edison bulbs and had a coffee bar that served overpriced drinks with names like The Alignment and The Awakening. When Celeste introduced us, he gave me this soft, limp handshake. "What do you do, Riley?" he asked. "Custom motorcycle shop. Build bikes. Restorations." He nodded with this fake smile. "That's great, man. The world needs people who keep the gears turning. You know? The infrastructure. Someone's got to do it." Then he turned back to Celeste and started reminiscing about some book they read in college. I stood there while they laughed and finished each other's sentences. I should have seen it then, but I trusted her. Figured she was just networking. Big mistake. So I didn't argue. Didn't shout. I just stood up and walked out of the kitchen. Something clicked in my chest right then. She thought this was a negotiation. She thought I had 2 choices, but I'd already chosen option 3. When I came back out, she was standing there waiting, probably expecting yelling or some emotional breakdown she could twist into proof that I wasn't ready to grow. I gave her none of that. I just nodded and said, "I need time to process this." She smiled, relieved. "Thank you for being open," she said. "This means everything." "Sure," I said. I went to bed that night knowing exactly what I was going to do, and she had no idea. Over the next week, Celeste treated me like I was some rehabilitation project. She'd leave articles open on our shared iPad about open relationships and modern relationship structures. She'd send me links to podcast episodes with titles like Transcending Jealousy and Reclaiming Sexual Autonomy. She even printed out a success story about a couple in Seattle who opened their marriage and said it saved them. "If you truly love me, you'll support this," she said one morning. "This doesn't have to be painful." I nodded, smiled when needed, said things like, "I'm really trying to understand, and I want to support your growth." All the while, my eyes were wide open. The beautiful thing about Celeste's newfound enlightenment was that she stopped hiding anything. She did everything in the open because, in her mind, there was nothing to hide. She was free. And me? I was the outdated model she planned to upgrade from. She just hadn't finalized the trade-in yet. But she would. Soon. Because the more supportive I acted, the more confident she became. She stopped filtering herself around me. She started mentioning Ash's name casually, dropping hints about their plans, tossing around timelines like we were coordinating a vacation. I played my role, the confused husband trying his best, the guy staying up late reading to educate himself. I nodded while she explained how traditional marriage was basically a patriarchal prison designed to control women. I even threw in a few reflective sighs just to sell the act. But I wasn't buying a single word. I was gathering everything I needed. See, Celeste made one critical mistake. She always used our shared iPad for her personal stuff, her calendar, her messages, her email. We bought it together 3 years ago, set it up under a family sharing account, and she never changed her passwords or logged out of anything. I had every right to see what was on it, and what I found made my blood turn ice cold. I started with her calendar. That's where I found the first breadcrumb, weekly entries labeled personal development. Starting 3 months back, every Wednesday evening, 7 to 9 p.m. Always the same location, Pearl District Loft, Ash's place. Then I checked her messages. She had him saved as Catalyst. Cute. Their text went back 4 months. They started innocent enough, professional, then shifted. By month 2, they were texting every single day. "I can't stop thinking about our conversation last night," she wrote. "Same," he replied. "You're different than you were in college. More awake. You see me in ways Riley never could." He's a good person, but he's stuck. Comfortable. And comfort is the enemy of growth. That's what she wrote about me. I sat there going through message after message, watching her rewrite our entire relationship into some kind of prison she needed to escape from. But the really interesting stuff was in the voice memos. She'd send him these long, rambling recordings, 3, 4, sometimes 5 minutes each, talking about her feelings, her frustrations, her awakening, like she was in some kind of therapy session. Except her therapist was trying to sleep with her. One memo from 3 weeks ago hit me hard. Riley asked me today if everything was okay, if I was happy, and I lied. I told him yes. But the truth is, I haven't been happy in years. I've just been going through the motions. And meeting you again, it's made me realize I deserve more than motions. I deserve passion, connection, someone who challenges me. Haven't been happy in years. That's what she said. Years. We'd only been married 4, which meant she regretted the entire thing. Good to know. I kept digging and found more messages, more recordings. The pattern was the same. She was building this narrative where I was a comfortable, safe choice who failed to grow with her, and Asher was the enlightened savior who would unlock her true potential. The timeline made everything worse. Every Wednesday for 3 months. Every single week. While I thought she was at networking events or wellness workshops, she was actually at his loft. Then I saw a calendar entry for next weekend. Cascade Wellness Retreat. 3 days under it. Trial run before transition. She wasn't planning a fling. She was planning an exit strategy. No confrontation. No paperwork. Just a slow fade straight into Ash's bed and eventually into Ash's life. She'd test drive the upgrade. See if she liked it. And if not, she'd just stroll back to me like I was a backup generator she could switch on if the main power failed. But there was more. One evening, while Celeste was showering, a notification popped up on the iPad, a voice memo from someone named Tori. I knew that name. Her younger sister, 26, still figuring herself out. Always treated me like I was barely worth acknowledging. Called me Captain Boring behind my back. The memo was sitting there unread. I opened it. Are you sure Riley's buying it? Tori asked. Her voice had that same smug tone she always used around me. Completely, Celeste said, and she actually laughed. God, Tori, I feel so alive right now. Ash is obsessed with you, Tori said. It's kind of hot, not gonna lie. I know. He says I'm the only woman who ever really challenged him intellectually. Better than being stuck with Captain Boring for the rest of your life, right? They both laughed. Then Tori dropped the bomb. So, does he know I've been seeing Asher too? Long pause. I could hear Celeste move around, like she walked somewhere more private. He doesn't need to know, Celeste finally said. Her voice had changed, careful, tense. Asher's philosophy is that authentic connection isn't about possession or ownership. We're all just exploring what feels right, what resonates. So we're sharing him. Tori asked. We're not sharing anything. Tori, that's such a limited way to look at it. We're both connecting with someone who sees us. Someone who helps us grow. So, does that mean you're okay with me sleeping with him too? Another pause. Are you already sleeping with him? Yeah, for like 3 weeks now. I had to replay that part just to make sure I wasn't hearing things. Her sister was also sleeping with Asher. And Celeste either already knew or was discovering it right there on the recording. 3 weeks. Celeste's voice got tight. And you didn't tell me. I thought you knew. He said you guys talked about this. About how the 3 of us could all support each other's growth. He said what? That we're all adults. That there's enough love to go around. The recording went silent for a few seconds. Then Celeste laughed, a bitter laugh. Of course he did. Are you mad? Tori asked. No, I'm not mad. I'm just processing. This is exactly what I wanted, right? No possession, no jealousy, just authentic connection. But she sounded mad. So we're good. Tori asked. We're good, Celeste said, and the memo ended. I sat back, trying to process what I'd just heard. Asher wasn't some spiritual guru helping women find themselves. He was running a rotation. Celeste, Tori, who knows how many others. All of them thinking they were evolved and special while he played them against each other. And Celeste was dragging her own sister into it. Probably thought they could transcend jealousy together or something equally ridiculous. I backed everything up. Screenshots, saved messages, downloaded voice memos. I organized it all. Then I started keeping detailed written notes. I documented everything in a notebook I kept locked in my truck, because I had a feeling I was going to need it. And I was right. On Thursday night after work, I called Ally. His family came from Lebanon back in the 90s. We'd been boys since community college, when we were both taking night classes while working full-time. He was doing engineering while working at a warehouse. I was in business management while working security. We bonded over being the only two people in our accounting class who actually did the homework. 10 years later, he'd work his way up to senior engineer at Intel, making solid six figures. He also happened to be the funniest person I knew, the kind of guy who could roast you until you questioned every life choice you'd ever made, then buy you dinner afterward. He picked up on the second ring. "Yo, what's up, Habibi?" "I need to talk," I said. His tone shifted immediately. "About what?" "Can you come over? I'll explain in person." "Say less. I'll bring food." 30 minutes later, he pulled up in his ancient Civic, got out holding 2 bags from a Lebanese place he swore by, shawarma wraps, garlic sauce, the works. We sat in my garage because I didn't want Celeste overhearing anything if she came home early from whatever workshop she was at that night. Ally handed me a wrap and sat on an overturned bucket. "Okay," he said. "What happened?" I told him everything. The whole disaster. Ally didn't interrupt, just listened while demolishing his shawarma. When I finished, he sat there quietly for a solid 10 seconds, just chewing and thinking. Then he set his food down and looked at me. "Brother, I'm going to ask you one question, and I need you to be completely honest with me." "Shoot." "Are you actually considering staying with this woman?" "No, not even a little bit." "Good." He nodded. "Because if you said yes, I was going to slap you so hard your ancestors in whatever Irish village you came from would feel it." I laughed despite everything. "That's why I called you." "Okay." He wiped his hands with a napkin. "So what's the play? Because you've got enough here to bury her legally, but you need to be smart about it. Can't go in guns blazing." "I'm thinking lawyer first. Divorce papers. But I want to understand exactly what I'm dealing with here." "Wait," he said. "Didn't you once tell me you guys signed a prenup?" I froze. "Actually, yeah, we did. And I completely forgot about it." It was true. We'd signed a prenuptial agreement 4 years ago, right before the wedding. Not because I wanted to. I would have married her without any legal paperwork. But Celeste insisted on it. The irony wasn't lost on me. Her parents had money. Her grandmother had passed away a few years before and left her a trust fund, maybe $90,000, and Celeste wanted to protect it, make sure it stayed separate property. Her lawyer drafted the prenup and clearly stated her inheritance would remain Hayes alone. I'd agreed because I didn't care about her money. I never had. But now I was trying to remember the other details. There was something else in there, some clause her lawyer added. Ally saw the wheels turning. "You need to dig that up," he said. "Like tonight. Right now." He followed me inside. I went straight to the spare bedroom where we kept the filing cabinet. Found a folder labeled Important Documents. There it was. Prenuptial agreement. 15 pages. Signed and notarized 4 years ago. I flipped through it. Most of it was standard. Separation of assets. Her trust fund stayed hers. Any inheritance stayed separate. Joint bank accounts would be split 50/50ths. Then I hit page 8. Infidelity clause. My heart started pounding. I read it out loud. In the event that either party engages in extramarital relations during the course of the marriage, the faithful party shall retain full ownership of the primary residence, any vehicles purchased jointly, and all furnishings and assets acquired during the marriage. The unfaithful party forfeits all claims to said assets and shall be responsible for their own legal fees in the divorce proceedings. I looked at Ally. He was grinning. "Brother," he said, "she's cooked." "She doesn't remember it," I said. "I'm sure of it. She hasn't mentioned it once." "Even better." Ally stood up. "Okay, here's what we're doing. You're calling a lawyer tomorrow. First thing, you're dropping this on her like a nuke." "What about Asher?" I asked. "He needs to know this is coming too. You want to tell him yourself?" "No," I said. "I want someone else to tell him. Someone who has skin in the game." Ally thought about it. He's got a girlfriend, right? I explained what I'd found while digging through Asher's social media. He wasn't married, but he'd been dating this woman named Haley for 2 years. She had absolutely no idea about Asher's so-called lifestyle coaching business. Ally's grin got even bigger. "Oh man, This is going to be beautiful. You're about to blow up his whole operation. That's the idea. We spent the next hour planning. Ally had this way of turning everything into a tactical mission, breaking it down step by step, adding contingencies, backup plans, the works. By the time he left at midnight, I had a solid roadmap. Step 1, consult a divorce attorney and get the prenup reviewed. Step 2, document everything and build an A-type case. Step 3, let Celeste go on her little retreat to Ash's cabin and let her think she's winning. Step 4, serve her the divorce papers the day she comes back. Step 5, watch the entire house of cards collapse. I met with a lawyer Friday morning, a guy named Klein, mid-50s, calm, steady voice, the kind of guy who instantly makes you feel like things are under control. I showed him everything. The prenup, the screenshot from the iPad, my written notes, the whole timeline. He went through each page carefully, not rushing, almost like he was assembling a puzzle in his head. Then he looked up. You've documented everything legally. The prenup is ironclad, and she's openly admitting to the affair in writing. So, I'm good? You're better than good, he said. With this infidelity clause, she's walking away with basically nothing. What about her inheritance, the money from her grandmother that the prenup protects as separate property? She keeps that, he said, but everything else, he gestured at the pile of documents. You're going to be fine. I felt this wave of relief wash over me. How long will this take? In Oregon, there's a waiting period, he said. But cooperating or not, we can get this finalized in a few months, especially if she doesn't contest it. Oh, she's going to contest it, I said. He smiled. They always think they will. But once they see the evidence and understand the prenup, most people back down. Legal fees pile up fast when you're fighting a losing battle. Let her go on this retreat. I'll have the papers ready by Monday. I walked out of that office feeling lighter than I had in weeks. That afternoon, I finally did something I'd been putting off, reaching out to Haley, Ash's girlfriend. I found her on social media and sent a simple message on Instagram. Hi, Haley. You don't know me, but I have information about Ash that you deserve to know. Can we talk? She responded within an hour. Who is this? Someone in a similar position. I'll let you decide what to do with the information, but you should have it. She agreed to meet me for coffee Saturday morning. I brought printed copies of everything. Haley seemed genuinely kind, which honestly made this part harder. I didn't embellish or dramatize anything. I just handed her the evidence and let her read. She went pale. She didn't cry, just stared at the pages for a long, silent moment. How long? She finally asked. At least 4 months that I can confirm, I said. Maybe longer. She nodded slowly, folded the papers, and looked at me. Thank you for this. I know it couldn't have been easy. I'm sorry you're going through it. Then she let out this bitter little laugh. You know what the funniest part is? He's always preaching about authenticity and transparency. That's his whole brand, and has been lying to both of us the entire time. She stood up, adjusted her jacket like she was gearing up for a fight. I'm ending it today, and I'm making sure everyone who takes his workshops knows exactly who he is. I didn't say anything, just nodded. Ally's voice echoed in my mind, watch everything burn. And it was already happening. Celeste left for her retreat on Friday evening. She packed her bag like she was heading to some luxury spa, yoga pants, athletic wear, her expensive skincare lineup. She kissed my cheek as she walked out. Thank you for being so understanding about this, she said. Of course, sweetheart, I said. I think this is going to be really good for us. For me to explore who I am, and for you to process what you need. Totally. She left with this peaceful smile, like she'd achieved enlightenment just by planning a weekend to cheat on her husband. The moment her car disappeared down the street, Ally pulled up in his Civic. I'd already texted him that the coast was clear. He walked in carrying his laptop with a huge grin plastered across his face. Okay, he said, setting up at my kitchen table. We're doing this now, Habibi. Doing what? Watch. He opened his laptop and pulled up Ash's business website, the lifestyle coaching page with all his workshop listings and testimonials. What are you doing, Ally? Brother, you're handling the legal nuclear option. That's smart. But me? I'm handling the petty tactical strike. He started typing. I'm going to make Ash's life annoying as hell. How? Watch and learn. First, he went to Google reviews and pulled up Ash's business listing. 5 stars. 32 glowing reviews about transformation and awakening and life-changing experiences. Ally made a new Gmail account, then started writing a review out loud as he typed it, attended Ash's intentional living workshop hoping for genuine insight. Instead, I got 3 hours of recycled self-help cliches and uncomfortable eye contact. Asher spends most of the session humble bragging about his conscious relationships with multiple women. When I asked specific questions about implementing his advice, he said I wasn't vibrating at the right frequency yet. Save your $800. 2 out of 5 stars would be 1, but the kombucha was decent. He hit submit. That's not even the best part. He said, "There's more." Oh, brother, I'm just getting started. Then he started signing Ash up for every spam email list he could find. Timeshare presentations, senior living communities, debt consolidation, extended car warranties. He's going to get about 400 emails a day. Ally said, his inbox will be completely unusable within a week. I started laughing. This is so petty. Exactly. He kept going. And here's the masterpiece. He found Ash's workshop sign-up page, the one where people could register for his upcoming Awakening Intensive Weekend. $900 per person, limited to 12 attendees. Ally created 12 fake email accounts and registered 12 fake people using the most ridiculous names imaginable. Look at these, he said, turning the laptop to me. Hugh Jass, Anita Mann, Barry McCocker, Dixon Cider. I completely lost it. You're insane. He's going to confirm all these registrations. Ally said, send them all the prep materials. And then nobody's going to show up. What if he figures it out? Nah, he won't. Ally closed his laptop. Plus, even if he does, what's he going to do? He's too busy running his little harem to pay attention. I shook my head. You're genuinely terrible. I'm efficient, he corrected. You're destroying him legally. I'm destroying him logistically. Teamwork. He closed his laptop with his satisfied smile. Okay, he said. The digital warfare is complete. Now you just sit back and let everything else play out. Thanks for this, brother. This is what friends are for. He headed for the door. Text me when you serve her. I want updates. Will do. After he left, I checked Ash's Google reviews on my phone. Ally's review was already live and already being marked as helpful by other people. I smiled. Let the games begin. First, I changed the locks. Not to lock her out forever, just to make a point when she came back. Then I started packing her things. Clothes into suitcases, toiletries into boxes. I labeled everything neatly and stacked it all in the spare bedroom. I didn't damage anything, just organized it like I was preparing for her departure, because I was. Ali came over Saturday afternoon to help me move some furniture. We rearranged the living room, took down the wedding photos, replaced them with pictures I actually liked, things that felt like mine. That night, I got a text from Haley. I ended it. He tried to gaslight me, said I was being insecure. I told him to enjoy his authentic journey alone. Then I posted about it in the private group for his workshop alumni. Let's just say people are asking for refunds. Perfect. Everything was falling into place. Sunday night, Celeste texted me. This weekend has been so transformative. I feel like I'm finally stepping into my power. Hope you're doing okay. I replied with a thumbs-up emoji. She had no idea what was waiting for her. Klein already had the divorce papers ready. I'd signed them. They were sitting in an envelope on the kitchen counter next to the prenup. Monday, I spent the day at work like nothing was happening, finished a custom paint job on a Triumph, dealt with a parts delay, ate lunch with my crew. When I pulled into the driveway that evening, her car was already there. She'd beaten me home. I walked inside and found her standing in the living room, staring at the empty wall where the wedding photos used to be. She looked genuinely confused. Where are the pictures? I took them down. She blinked. Riley, what's going on? I nodded toward the kitchen counter. There's an envelope for you, You should read it. What is this? The papers you forgot we signed, I said, and the new ones you're going to need to sign. She walked over, opened the envelope, and pulled out the divorce petition. Her face went white. Are you freaking kidding me? Not even a little. She looked down at the prenup, and I watched the exact moment it all came back to her. Her eyes widened. Her hands started shaking. This isn't. It's exactly what it looks like. You wanted freedom. Congratulations, Riley. Wait, we can talk about this. We're done talking. She tried to step closer. I lifted a hand. Don't. For the first time since I'd known her, she looked genuinely scared, and it felt amazing. She didn't leave that night. Just stood there holding the papers like they might vanish if she stared long enough. I walked past her, headed upstairs, locked the bedroom door. She knocked twice. I didn't answer. By morning, she was gone, probably at Tori's. Didn't matter. The papers were served. The clock was ticking. Klein called me Wednesday afternoon. She lawyered up, he said. Some guy named Rothman. He's already trying to negotiate. He thinks the infidelity clause is too harsh. I told him to read the prenup his client signed and get back to me when he's ready to be realistic. I laughed. How long do you think this will take? A couple months at most. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. Rothman knows it. He's just doing his job. Perfect. Oh, and Riley, he added, you might want to brace yourself. Word's getting around. Her family is going to reach out. He was right. I got a call from Celeste's mother on Thursday. Didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Riley, this is Marilyn. We need to talk about what's happening. Celeste is devastated. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Please call me back. Ignored it. Her father called Friday. Same message. Straight to voicemail. But Saturday morning, I got a text from Tori. We need to talk. Family meeting at Mom and Dad's. 2 p.m. today. I showed the text to Ally. We were at his place watching college football. You going? He asked. Yeah. Why? Because I want them to know exactly what their daughters did, and I want to watch them try to defend it. Ally grinned. Can I come? No. Come on. Man. I'll behave. You've never behaved a day in your life. Fair point. I showed up at Celeste's parents' house at 2. The whole family was there. Marilyn, Peter, Tori, and Celeste, who looked like she'd been crying for 3 days straight. Peter spoke first. Riley, thanks for coming. We just want to understand what's happening here. From what Celeste has told us, this seems very sudden. Marilyn nodded. Marriage is work. You can't just walk away the moment things get difficult. Tori jumped in. You always seem kind of rigid. Riley, maybe if you'd been more open-minded, we wouldn't be here. I let them talk. Didn't interrupt. Just listened to them rewrite history in real time. Then I pulled out my phone. Pulled up the notes I'd written, direct quotes from Celeste, dates, timelines. I read them aloud. Celeste, I'm giving you 2 choices. Accept that I want to explore something with Asher, or stay out of the way. Asher understands me in ways you never could. He sees my authentic self. I don't owe you monogamy. That's a social construct. I looked up. She didn't ask for support. She demanded permission to cheat. Peter cleared his throat. Well, people say things when they're confused. She wasn't confused. I cut in. She was planning. I showed them the calendar entry, the retreat booking, the messages. Then I looked at Tori. And just so we're clear, you're sleeping with Asher too, aren't you? Tori went pale. Marilyn's head snapped toward her. What? I played the voice memo. The whole thing. Silence. Marilyn looked horrified. Peter looked furious. Celeste looked like she wanted to vanish. So let me be clear. I said, your daughter spent months planning to cheat on me with her ex-boyfriend. Your other daughter joined in. They both thought I was too weak to do anything about it. And the only reason they are upset now is because they got caught. I stood up. We signed a prenup. You all remember that, right? The one Celeste insisted on. Well, it has an infidelity clause. Marilyn started crying. Peter stared at the floor. Celeste finally spoke. Riley, Please, we can fix this. Nope, we can't. I walked to the door, turned back one last time. You wanted 2 choices. I picked option 3. Enjoy your freedom. As I left, I could hear Celeste sobbing, Tori trying to explain, her parents demanding answers. I got in my truck and drove away. Ally called me 5 minutes later. How'd it go? Perfect. The divorce was finalized in September, exactly 4 months after I served the papers. Celeste didn't contest it. I couldn't really. I kept the house, the car, everything we'd built together. She kept her inheritance and whatever dignity she could scrape together, which honestly wasn't much. Ash's business completely fell apart. Haley's post in the workshop alumni group spread like wildfire. Turns out a bunch of his former clients had similar stories. By July, he shut down his coaching practice and moved to Arizona. Celeste moved back in with her parents. Last I heard, she was working remote customer service and posting vague stuff on social media about healing and self-discovery. I didn't follow her. Didn't care. I was done. Life got better. Work felt lighter. I started dating again. Nothing serious. Just enjoying myself. Ali still swore the whole thing was the funniest saga he'd ever seen. He told the story at parties like it was stand-up comedy. Everything was fine until October. It was a Friday night. I was home. Ali was over, and we were playing video games and talking trash like always. Then someone started pounding on my door, loud, aggressive hits. Ali paused the game. You expecting someone? He asked. No. The pounding kept going. Then I heard her voice. Riley, I know you're in there. Celeste. She sounded wrecked, slurring, emotional, definitely not sober. Oh, this is going to be good, Ali said, standing up. I opened the door. Celeste was on my porch in sweatpants and an oversized hoodie, hair a mess, eyes red. She looked like she'd been crying for hours, clutching an empty bottle. We need to talk, she said, swaying. No, we don't. Yes, we do. You ruined my life. Ali stepped behind me. Technically, you ruined your own life. He just documented it. She pointed at him. Who the heck is this? I'm Ali, he said proudly. Riley's best friend. He paused. How'd that spiritual journey work out? Celeste's face flushed. You don't know anything. I know you forgot about a prenup you signed, he said, and that you're currently not sober on his porch 4 months after he divorced you. She turned to me, tears pouring now. Made a mistake. Okay. I was confused. Asher manipulated me. I wasn't thinking clearly. I crossed my arms. And that's supposed to make me feel bad for you. We could have worked through it. You wanted permission to cheat while keeping me around as a backup. That's not true. Ali held up his phone. Want me to play the voice memos again? Because I've got copies. Celeste lunged toward him. I stepped in front of her. You need to leave. I have nowhere to go. You have your parents' house. Everyone's sick of me, she cried. My friends won't talk to me. Tori won't talk to me. Asher moved away. And you? You just moved on like I never even existed. She dropped to her knees and started sobbing. Please, please, Riley, I'll do anything. Just give me another chance. Ali looked at me, eyebrows up, waiting to see what I'd do. I crouched down and met her eyes. You gave me 2 choices back then, accept your affair or stay out of the way. You didn't think I deserved a third option. You assumed I'd just take it. She nodded, crying harder. But you're not sorry you did it, I said. You're sorry it didn't work out the way you wanted. I stood up. Go home. Sober up. Move on. Because I already have. Ali opened the door wider. Maybe don't blow up your next marriage, he added. She stayed there for a minute, then slowly got up, wiping her face with her sleeve. I hope you're happy, she said bitterly. I am, I said. Finally. She turned and staggered to her car. Ali and I watched to make sure she didn't drive. She didn't. She just sat there crying. Eventually another car pulled up. Her mom. Marilyn got out, helped Celeste into the passenger seat, and drove off. Ali shut the door and looked at me. Brother, that was the most pathetic thing I've ever witnessed. We went back to the couch, and for the first time in months, I felt completely free. The game kept going. Ali kept talking trash. Life kept moving forward. And Celeste? She became exactly what she was always meant to be, just a forgotten story I used to know. Guys, we are so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It really helps us reach that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come.